That's what I was gonna mention is that Kevin Parker from Tame Impala actually walked out on stage during the Wiggles concert, and they did a Wiggles version of Elephant. Just and it's
Sick.
like crazy. Imagine if you're wasted at a Wiggles concert with your children. Probably not wasted, but then just Kevin Parker comes on stage. You're like, oh my god, I love Tame Impala.
Did they do fucking mashed banana?
They did Elephant, and then they like did a medley into fruit salad, yummy, yummy, fruit salad, yummy, yummy. I'm not even joking. It was fucking. You can look it up. It's fucking
fire,
epic.
actually.
This was a show you went to?
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, I flew to New Zealand and went to fucking the Wiggles show.
Flew to New Zealand.
The guy who created the Wiggles is like
dad.
knighted, by the way, in Australia.
That's
Really?
dope.
I didn't know they had.
He
knights
deserves
there.
it.
Thank you, universe, for Aries women. I'm sorry. I hate astrology so fucking much. Y'all are so fucking dumb. I know this is such a like, all right, welcome to the male podcast where we're talking about how fucking astrology's dumb. But like, literally that shit is so fucking dumb. Like, we need to get rid of that in our society. I'm serious, man.
Good
shit is
God.
so fucking dumb. What an Aries. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
I just hate when I see it on like on my Facebook feed, and it's like when you fuck with people, but you don't really fuck with people, and then it'll list like 8 or 9 of them. So it's just like Capricorn, Aries, Sagittarius. It's like
if you're born in the
like
first
this
10
me.
months of the year, you don't. Your vibes are, you protect your vibes. I don't know, man. It's like it's so boring to even complain about it at this point.
Right.
But it's like, but it's like,
played out.
like, why are you willingly boxing your personality into a fucking astrology chart?
Exactly.
Human beings are more complicated than that. Like,
Dude, I feel the same way about the Myers-Briggs shit, where it's just like, I'm an EFNTJQ.
Right, yeah.
And it's just like, or you're just a person who answered some questions on a quiz one day.
it's like your personality is not a downtown subway sign in New York, just like the DN, R, and Q. It's like going downtown Brooklyn and Queens, DNRQTXY. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I always see that
Christ.
cancers are super emotional, and I feel like I'm one of the less emotional people.
Are you a Cancer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that makes so
What
much
are you?
sense.
Cancer, born and bred. Yeah.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Young Saggy. Okay.
Now,
Gotcha.
the Sagittarius, it's like, okay, that happens to like line up with my personality. When I do read the Sagittarius thing, it's like, yeah,
But it's very general
risk
things,
taker, adventurer, kind of independent kind of guy. But it's like,
Yeah, but you read that on any days, like risk taker. Well, I did have a banana for breakfast. You know that is.
someone on the
thing is-
timeline was like, y'all are putting bananas in your cereal? And everyone in the comments was like, yes. Yeah,
Every
it's
day.
delicious.
I put it in my
Why-
oatmeal.
why not?
Every day I have a banana.
I put it in my
It's
soup.
pretty normal.
Uh,
In my soup.
Tomato
there was
soup with
also a whole
bananas?
thing about there's like a 13th astrological sign which shifts them all. So I'm actually like a Gemini or a Leo, whichever one. Those are the two on the other sides of Cancer.
Actually, a Shartimus.
but it basically makes everyone not what they were.
Well,
normally.
the original calendar was 10 months until July and August. Julius
Right.
and Augustus
Mhm.
added them.
Gloop.
So Augustus Gloop. Until Augustus Gloop added another month to the calendar.
No, yeah, but there's literally a 13th one, and they just
That would be tight
ignored
if-
that.
Sorry, go ahead.
It starts with like an O or something. I forget what it's called, but it's like a 13th sign, and people are like, "Nah, the 12 are good."
I would just if
12's
Augustus Gloop was our president. He's like, we're going to make chocolate free for everybody. Chocolate all day. School lunches. And he does like the Michelle Obama shit. He's like, school lunches need to be healthier. They're going to be pure chocolate from now on.
We're just going to kind of build tubes for you to suck it down through.
Yeah, we're going to give hamster feeding tubes for all your children to suck chocolate for lunch. Like he's a fucking dictator. We have to dethrone him.
Like
There's a fascist in office. Hello, you're not going to vote.
It's like he
Augustus
platformed himself.
Gloop needs to be destroyed.
It's like his whole platform is just running on like overcoming the struggle of being stuck in a chocolate tube. It's like
We need to lubricate the chocolate tubes more.
we need more chocolate tubes. It's made me stronger.
Make me stronger with the tubes.
Send them to the chocolate tubes.
Yeah, those are the gulags, or just
Send them to the chocolate cylinder.
send them to the chocolate mines. You're going to be taking. It's like that speech from Django. Like, you're going to be taking big rocks and turn them into little rocks. It's like, you're going to be taking big chunks of chocolate and making it into tiny chunks of chocolate. All day until your back is out.
Send them to the chocolate chip factory. Oh my god. Yeah, just straight up making
What were
chocolate
we
chips.
talking about? Oh yeah,
The Wiggles. Oh,
The
astrology.
Wiggles.
Oh,
The Wiggles.
astrology.
The Wiggles.
ADHD ass motherfuckers.
ADHD ass motherfuckers.
ADHD,
Let's take a look at it.
So you saw
Feed it
this
some
video
lettuce.
of the Wiggles and Tame Impala together playing, and it was just like
Trish mentioned it actually. She was like, Kevin Parker came out for the Wiggles or something. And I'm like, no.
Oh,
listened-
Coachella. That's right, because Coachella's happening.
I listened
No,
to.
it wasn't Coachella. It was just a Wiggles concert. in
Oh, it was just
Australia.
Wiggles. Okay.
It
I
was
thought the
literally like
Wiggles was
Kevin
at
Parker
Coachella.
like literally flew in to fucking perform with the Wiggles.
Australia.
You're familiar with Currents, right? The album.
Yeah,
By Tame
is that the
Impala.
newest one? Or is
No,
that the
that's
second
like the
to
one
newest
with
one?
Let It Happen on it and stuff.
Let
Like the
it
big one.
happen.
Dude, I listened to
Let
that
it
album for the
happen.
first time all the way through while I was off the Orange Boys. Sheesh.
Sheesh.
Let It Happen alone. Like, oh my god. Yeah.
Wait,
Well, it,
Orange Boys? When were you doing the Orange Boys?
That was during the Super Bowl. Not this
During the
past one,
Super
but the one
Bowl.
before.
During the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I went to
more
visit.
Orange Boys during the Super Bowl.
You did
Yeah, I
the
went to
Super
visit
Bowl?
my friend in Carolina.
I remember this. Yes.
Yeah. It was very tight.
Woody, I'm on the Orange Boys.
Dude,
I can't come to the meeting.
Did I tell you that when we we just took the Orange Boys and he was like, let's take my dog on a walk to start just to start the day out.
Mhm.
And we were in the elevator going down and he like laughs really quick and his Orange Boy falls out onto the floor and his dog's right there. And I like grab the dog and I like, I had to hold it because it literally was like, its
Going
tongue was
for
like,
it.
and it was like a nanometer away from the, it was like, and I was like, no. And then bro literally takes his finger and like picks it up off the ground and pops it back in. He's like squatting down right as the doors open and the girl's just right there and he's just like,
Pardon me. Dude, imagine a dog being on Orange Boys being like, this bone is
it would have
crazy.
ruined the day because like he would have not really tripped, but his dog would be fucked up and then I would have been tripping balls. Like it would have been
Giving a dog acid is nuts.
not a good
Dude's chasing his own tail for like 8 hours. Be crazy.
yeah.
It's like it doesn't stop.
It was tight having the dog not tripping and just being there to chill with us because having an
Yeah.
animal around is just like, and it was like a
Vibe
big
curation.
dog, but they're like thinks it's a lap dog, so it just got up on me and just was like,
So again, I'm just
I don't know
gonna
if I can
kind
handle
of
it.
chill right here.
it's a nice dog.
But yeah, Currents is a crazy album. I love Tame Impala, shamelessly. I don't know. They're all their music is so
Wow,
enjoyable,
dude. You got a
Shamelessly.
tapestry in your bedroom?
but shamelessly. dude.
You
But
like
I
shit?
was,
That's
uh,
fucking stupid.
I was fucking wow, I'm sending this to Max on Twitter. I was gonna take
excited.
acid when I went into the city yesterday, like, maybe I'll just take acid and go into and it's like every time I choose not to do acid and go into the city, I'm always grateful. I'm like, yeah, wow. The city's so stimulating.
Yeah,
And it's like
Mad, bro.
there'll just be people walking straight up to you trying to ask you for shit. It's like yeah. And we're like post subway shooting now.
yeah.
So it's just like
Jesus.
vibes are crazy.
Tensions
in the
are
city.
kind of
I'm
nuts.
sorry. Did you say that you did recently do that? Like you went out?
No, I was going to yesterday and I was like, you know what?
Okay.
Better not do psychedelics and go downtown. Yeah. And then it like rained like at night. So I was getting poured on trying to get home and
Hmm.
all that shit.
So you still went out. You just didn't.
Yeah, no, I went out. I I went downtown. Shout out to all the people that it's kind of crazy. I've been getting recognized. I probably got recognized about 8 times yesterday. It's
Wow.
I think it's something about the village. Maybe it's because I'm gay. But people recognize me and they show love. So I appreciate everyone who did.
Shout out.
But fucking went down downtown or the village. Got some oysters, a little sparkling wine. You know, just had to treat myself real quick. And then I grabbed. There was on the same block. I got some oysters. There was a little weed store. Just looked like a full-on dispensary, but it had no actual weed. It was all other shit. And I went in and I'm like, yeah, so you guys have pre-rolls. Like they had the jars with the pre-rolls. And I was like, what is this shit? He's like, this is Delta 10. And I'm just like,
Oh, what?
there's fucking Delta 10 now? I'm like, do you guys have weed? He's like, no, we have Delta 8, Delta 10, CBD. And I'm like, dude, what is Delta 10? I've never heard of Delta 10.
Like, how is it a plant? Yeah.
He's like, Delta 10. Well, Delta 8 is a plant too. You can make Delta 8 herb also. But the last time I got a Delta 8 joint pre-roll, like it was so stuffed up, didn't pull well at all. Like it was just ass. And it was like $20 for it. It was like crazy. And it did nothing to get me high at all. This Delta 8 though.
Delta 10.
Delta 10 though. Yeah, I walk in, I'm like, so yeah, Delta 10. And he's like, yeah, you're gonna start hearing about Delta 10. You're gonna hear about like THCB. You're gonna start hearing about all this shit.
God.
There's like all these new variants coming out. I'm like, this is gonna
It's going to be legal without having to be legal. Like,
dude,
potentially, right?
The Delta 10, I bought it. It was pre-roll in a raw cone. Great stuff. And I smoked it. It smoked so clean. Like I had like a 2-inch ash head on that shit. Like it was just smoking so clean. And that shit got me really, really faded. And it's basically like Delta 8 with more sativa quality. So it's like the mix between Coke and Diet Coke, somewhere in between in terms of weed. But it's not weed. So it's like, yeah, you're right. Like we don't even need to legalize weed at this point. It just is. Like you can just go buy a $15 pre-roll.
So you smoked it without having had done anything else prior that day, and was it noticeable? Like,
it almost got me too high. That's what I'm noticing is like all this shit. Yeah, because my lungs were really tingly because I coughed. My lungs are, I have oil, but that's not the same as burning herb. And I had that that like hot burning in your lungs when you've just coughed a little bit too much. I had that and it got me a little annoyed because I was like, oh, is this gonna go away? I've just been a noity fucking bitch recently, but not bitch. Boy. Yeah, noity boy. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool. And then I went to I walked by a bar and I'm like, how much is a beer in here? And the guy outside was like, it's like $8 to $10 for a beer. And he's like, what are you looking for? I'm like, just trying to get buzz cheap and fast. He's just, well, you can go down to the corner store there and buy a beer for like $3 and then just go crush it in that alleyway. And I was like, that's a great idea. So
good person.
He's like, welcome to the neighborhood. And I'm like, yeah, I don't live in West Village. Like I wouldn't be looking for a cheap anything if I lived in West Village.
What does that mean? Is West Village like a
expensive area?
Got you.
Anywhere south of 14th Street, anywhere in Manhattan really is expensive.
Well, yeah.
Anywhere south of 14th Street, like Union Square, it's gonna be expensive as fuck.
Dude, I just remember when I went to Manhattan and I stayed in my friend's like aunt's apartment because I was like cat sitting. Like that was my way to find a place to sleep. But like looking back on it, that apartment had to be like a $1 million apartment. Like it was on the fucking Upper West Side, like huge, all things considered. Like it was just like, I didn't realize like how fucking insane that apartment was. And like you could actually see the street from the window. Like it weren't just pointing into an alley. So it's just like, that's when it's like, oh, I can see the fucking river. This is fucked.
That's what I like about my apartment now is I actually like in the family room, you can see downtown, you can see World Trade Center. And then in the bedroom, you just see the street, subway, all this shit. So.
You can actually see shit, yeah.
But
dude, those one buildings are insane. The ones that are just like this wide, but like the tallest buildings ever.
Yeah,
those are nuts. Well, what's up with those? Yeah.
But yeah, so I went and crushed that beer, and then I went into a speakeasy that was kind of close to film forum. It was $19 a cocktail. Very good cocktails, but just like just getting reamed up the butt price wise. Yeah, it was a cocktail. It was not. It's not a chug jug. You know, it was a fucking. It was a cocktail.
It's not a Baja Blast with fucking vodka.
I got a tequila kind of cocktail, and it had like an ice cube like this big, but it was just one ice cube. It was huge. It was like a perfect square ice cube, and that bitch was tasty. And also the oysters I had were expensive, but I think they were the best oysters I've ever fucking had in my life. Yeah, I think that might be my favorite food is oysters. Honestly,
crushable.
Dude, it was the freshest fucking oysters. The best oysters in the world come from Massachusetts. Well, in America, they come from Massachusetts, and they had got them shipped in that day from fucking Massachusetts. So I was just like,
Massachusetts,
just like sipping on fucking oysters and just like answering advice questions on IG. Shout out to everyone that asked me a question. People are like filing in with more questions, like, "What's your favorite movie?" or something. I'm like, that's not advice, but shout out to everyone there. And then linked with Maxwell and his girlfriend and a couple of people he works with or they know. Then I crushed a slice or two of pizza, smoked half the D10 joint, and then went home. And it was a good time. Yeah. And
that wasn't even the night you were out at a rave or something?
Oh my God, that's right. Friday.
Oh shit.
This is what happens when I get paid. Is I have a great weekend, and the next weekend it's like nothing. Nothing happens. But I went to Fat Boy Slim at Knockdown Center, and this dude is 58.
Wow.
And his set was from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. And he was he had the place rocking for 2 fucking hours. He was going hard.
I haven't seen that dude since like a bowling alley in 2003, like on a on a music video.
That is so accurate. To me not now, funk soul brother. To me top down.
That's what I'm saying.
Just watching Christopher Walken dance while you're getting a strike. Fucking dude. I was rolling a little bit. It was one of those things where I took like a half of a half, basically.
Okay.
So I was rolling a little bit. It was fun. It was kind of like a gay drag event also. So in between sets, there was like drag queens coming out doing backflips and shit. So like Meg Thee Stallion. It was pretty fire. And as you can see from my story, like there was like neon lights and shit and all
I saw that. Yeah.
The lights at Knockdown Center are crazy. It was really fun though. Raves are cool, man, but it is like entering another world. When you're rolling or you're tripping and you go to a fucking rave, like it feels like you're going through outer space. Emotionally, it feels like that. Mm-hmm. Because you're just so like, you're happy, but in that like beautiful sort of bittersweet kind of melancholic way. And it's like, I don't know, it's just like a whole nother fucking world. And then you just see people rolling, just eyes closed, smiling like this. And you're like, they are just like loving life right now. And then you're loving life a little bit because and it's like, and then I'm also like wild protective though of Trish. Like I fucking, and I don't need to be. She's a tough fucking girl and she goes out and does shit all the time. I don't need to be there. Mm-hmm. But, she's going to be fine. But I do get like wary of that. And that's something I got to like do work to let go on is like,
I mean, looking out for her when you go out in public in New York, like that's a normal thing, right?
Yeah, I just find that sometimes it makes it hard for me to fully let loose if I'm too worried about that. I like just being geeked on my own and don't have to worry about anybody. If anything, folks can worry about me, but I'm never really in that position. I'm always like, no one ever is really worrying about me. I'm kind of worrying about other motherfuckers, but anyways, how was y'all's weekend?
It's kind of a dichotomy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My weekend was good. Oh yeah, really good.
What'd you do?
Yeah, Tony, what'd you do?
Well, I went to see a movie last night, and
what movie was that?
It was called Everything Everywhere All at Once. and that shit was maybe like, you know, just like hot take reaction, like fresh off the press, but like one of the best movie experiences I've ever had.
Wow.
Like shit was an emotional roller coaster.
Would you say shit was
actually
a movie?
made me well up at the end.
Damn.
I was like, damn, is a tear gonna roll down my cheek? Like, holy shit! But it didn't happen. But I wish it could have. So I could have said it did.
Fucking.
That movies. I don't know if I've ever cried at a movie. I probably have.
Let's
but
see.
I don't remember.
Am I going to go see this at Marcus DePere at 1:45 today?
But that
am I going to go
scene,
see this?
That climactic scene is. I mean,
That's crazy.
I thought you said that you welled up during it too when you said you saw it or something, right? Or am I
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Everything
Everywhere all at once.
Must have been a different movie you were talking about then, because I thought you had said a movie
Probably.
made you well up recently, but I thought you saw it too. Damn. Yeah, no, go see that shit. That shit was fire.
That's awesome.
So like legitimately any shortcomings that it had, or any critiques or any imperfections it had, are just overshadowed by like just the movie in general. Just it speaks for itself, really. I feel like.
So it's directed by the Daniels, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they made Swiss Army Man, which I need to go watch now.
Right.
That was their only other full length movie, and they had like 3 short films, I think.
I'm surprised to hear that it's got an pretty good emotional side to it.
It's like that's all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like, and every kind of emotion. It's hilarious. It's bittersweet. It's like intense and not really scary. Maybe a little bit.
Not really
like,
scary,
sometimes.
but
Not really spooky scary or anything, but yeah, I mean, I honestly think I don't see how it doesn't win just like all the Oscars next year,
Really?
next year, just because of like in terms of editing, and I mean all the performances were amazing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
getting an ad for it months ago and being like, "This looks like an actually
Really
unique movie I would like to see."
Mhm.
and it's like it's really just like I don't know, it's fun. It doesn't take itself like too seriously, but at the same time does. Like
Mhm.
it's like it's got some Tarantino vibes to it, like really like Tarantino-esque like cinematography in certain parts, like fight scenes. The fight scenes in the movie are insane. They make the fight scenes in Moon Knight look absolutely mid.
Right.
Like this was
be
like
fair,
some of
I
the best
think
fight
they make
choreography I've
themselves
ever
look
seen. Yeah, some of the best like choreography and creativity in fight scenes, like new
Mhm.
ways to film shit, new like weapons to use, like yeah, man, I don't even feel like it just
It's lit, dog.
it
was
just
I don't want to like overhype
Michelle
it for you, but
Yeoh, I believe, is on it.
like we're gonna watch that one when we're off the goobers. Like,
yeah,
it's
dude. I was gonna mention.
required.
Did I already mention it? But like, fucking Encanto might be a crazy movie to peep on
really
Los
Absolutely.
Guberanos.
On the goobs?
On the Los Gubos.
On Los Gubos. Yeah,
Los
no,
Gubos.
Take these. They are Los Gubos. Take 2 of these. you're in like fucking I don't know, somewhere, and motherfuckers like, take 2 of these. Like you're in like an ayahuasca retreat. Los Gubos.
LSD and MDMA.
Dos
It's a candy
Gubos.
flip.
Those
Dos Gubos to the
damn.
dome.
fucking dude. Yeah, final
That's crazy.
episodes of Ozark in 12 days.
Final episode, so final season.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, we're wrapping this up.
Hey,
We're
honey,
wrapping it up.
I'm getting a fade and leaving the
Honey, I
country.
just took 2 goobers, so I can't drive the kids to soccer practice today.
Transcending dimensions right now.
I'm
Hi,
seeing
honey.
ancient civilizations in my California Pizza Kitchen barbecue pizza.
My pupils are 8 balls right now. I
Yeah,
can't go anywhere.
pupils are
mushrooms are
Marbies
speaking,
right
baby.
now.
Or Marbington.
Young marbles.
Young
Did
Marbalise.
you do anything else this last week, Tony? Besides that,
Nope.
nice.
No, nothing
No, I'm
else
just
to
kidding.
share with us that you would have
It was a good.
Wait, Tony, shut the fuck up real quick. I forgot something.
What is it?
Forgot to introduce the podcast. We're gonna fucking emu, you daft cunt. I think we mentioned that in like one of the first 10 episodes of the show. We were like, we're gonna fucking emu, you daft cunt.
Gonna fucking emu.
Oh yeah, that's a goated video. I mean, I don't know where I would dig it up from, but it lives on in our memories.
Lives on in our memories. Yeah, man, it is Monday. April.
It is
17th, 2022. Listen, welcome to another episode of Woken Boke. Episode 135 to be quite exact. I am your host, Connor Boyd. You may know me from TikTok on your For You page. You may know me from Jaded Forum. You may know me from just a post on Twitter or Instagram, perhaps. Welcome to the show. Every week, I am joined, as always, by my best friends from the great Gateway to the West, St. Louis, Missouri. Today joining us is a beautifully sexy tattooed fucking demon on the drums. The one, the only, the epic, Max Sansa. Max, how are you doing? You're summoning like a Doctor Strange portal right now.
What's up?
Just... Isn't that the dumbest shit in the world? Just like...
Yeah, so I just want to go to see the Doctor Strange movie, and then as soon as he starts doing this, just stand up and go, yes! Fuck!
He's doing the thing! Just,
yeah.
We have to make a dimension quick, or the whole universe is about to be destroyed. That's every Doctor Strange thing is just like don't do this quick enough. The whole dimension of the world is going to turn.
This is just a kid at our middle school.
Oh, you'll think it's really funny when the world's torn in two because you knocked over the ancient goober glass. It's like
goober glass.
Just
Naruto.
Yeah, no, this is a kid from our middle school getting a
dude. What if that's how his arms were moving? Just fold.
Dude, those little
opening up the dimensions.
Those little hand things come into play in Everything Everywhere All at Once. They're like, and like trippy ass shit happens.
Trippy ass shit happens.
Trippy ass shit, bro. Like seriously.
Also joining us is the Oni himself, the glasses wearer, the sword wielder, Tony motherfucking Hairup is here today.
He's here.
Tony, how you doing?
Good.
Good. I forgot to ask you, and I knew you were about to say just good. I had to fit that in.
I was getting that ready, yeah.
Listen, every week we get together to just chop it up. You know what I mean? Talk about video games, music, movies, current events, internet shit, how our weeks were, everything you've been hearing.
Jason Bateman news.
And a whole lot of nothing too, as what was her name? Shelly called it.
No content.
There's content and then there's no content. So there's a little sprinkle of both. Follow us on Spotify if you like what you're hearing. You can also give us a sub on YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. If you're a listener, even if you don't watch the video episodes, every episode after episode 68 is in video form on our YouTube. So hit us with the sub there to follow us every week. We're also on Twitter at Woken Boke Pod, as well as Instagram at Woken Boke Podcast. As well. We also have a Discord which you can join, and I believe the link to that is in the show description as well as all the others. And you can also send us an email at wokenbokepodcast@gmail.com with your questions, comments and suggestions, and we will read them on the show. We got about 2 emails this week.
Oh shit!
I don't know where we want to start. I know we've been chatting it up about a lot of stuff. We got a lot to cover though. everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. We got that covered. Do we want to read it? Do we want to read emails? I'd like to touch on this Carti stuff at some point. Mm-hmm. Maybe we just start with emails. Just bang that out.
Maybe we just start with emails. Maybe we just start there.
Little treat.
Maybe we just check it out.
This is a big email.
Jeez, okay.
Or a substantive one. It's full of content.
All right.
So this comes from our listener Blake. Definitely not the first time emailer. Blake says, "Sup, Bokers? Had a couple ideas about a possible new segment for the pod. While conversations about the latest and extremely mid Marvel, DC, and Star Wars media happens naturally nearly every episode, I thought setting aside 5 to 10 plus minutes per episode for Tony especially could be very fun for us listeners. This would give Tony complete freedom." Tony, imagine you with complete freedom.
Yeah, right? What a concept.
Okay,
to review/discuss the latest Marvel streaming show or DC release that embodies the definition of mid. This would most likely follow with Tony defending these shows and movies while Connor passionately expresses how nothing original is made anymore, along with Max taking a back seat for the action. Wow. That's not really how it goes, but okay.
In terms of Marvel stuff, I mean,
what if Max shut up,
I get it.
Tony defended it, and then Connor hated it? A few title ideas for the segment. Whole lot of mid.
All right.
That's a good title.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, honestly.
That's pretty good.
But I'm afraid people will think that we think whole lot of red is whole lot of mid, which we don't.
Yeah, you do not want to.
But we've publicly made
That's
that
true.
clear.
Everyone knows we love that.
Tony's quest to midding Shire. That's a pretty good one. This one's pretty good. Tony Bones mid zone.
All right.
Imagine if your name was Tonald Bone, like TONALD Bone. My name's Tonald Bone. Right? Maybe that's like your evil clone in the Cripple Stevens verse. Tonald Bone. And Ronald Bone made a clone out of you.
He made him, yeah.
This is my son, Tonald Bone. We also have Woke and Boke presents the mid moment of the week. I kind of like that. It's kind of like a Mountain Dew kind of like sponsored, Toyota play of the week sort of thing.
Right.
This would obviously be enhanced with some banging segment music, which I know you guys could come through with. Anyways, much love to all you guys and keep the episodes coming, Blake. Blake, we really appreciate that. We will consider that.
It's funny because like at first I thought I was like, is someone trolling me here? Because like that's like it sounds like exactly what I just did yesterday with all the new shit I just made.
Right.
So I thought you were like fucking with me like for a nanosecond. I was like, no, this is a person saying this. It just is a massive coincidence that because I basically I've made 3 of them, but they're just videos on some, on Marvel content, on Moon Knight.
Yeah, if you guys want to give Tony's TikTok a follow, it's this.
Yeah. Go hit it.
Tony, I'll throw it up. I'll find it. Go hit him up. He's making pretty funny short form, like little clips about
a dozen more ideas too. I'm going to be pumping a few out today.
Yeah, man. Tony's fully in TikTok now.
Oh yeah.
So shoot him a follow. First one was a banger. It was funny too. It was really funny. And your setup looks like you're a content creator now.
Right, yeah.
With the angle you got going on.
It gives it some credibility, not that it needs or it should, but it just helps. Yeah.
It does. Okay. This is another email from young Twiz boy. It says 2 kind of long questions. I'm going to get a sip of water for this.
There you go. Get prepped.
It says, love the podcast, boys, and thanks for reading this. Number 1, what is the best superpower to have and why is it super speed? You can learn stuff instantly. You have infinite punch kick force. It's basically teleportation, and it's also very easy to control and hide when not in use. There's literally no reason to get any other superpower. I could steal from literally anyone I wanted for a living. The only downside might be that when you're moving fast, everything slows down for you, and having to interact with regular speed objects might be super tedious. In regular life, though, you wouldn't want to have to move super fast, and your brain wouldn't process stuff super fast, so it wouldn't be just mind-numbingly slow all the time for you. That would be a really interesting story where, like, if you could be super fast all the time and never get exhausted, imagine a guy like he's just super fast. He's never gone out of super fast mode for like years. Like,
right. And so he can process now, or he can process information way quicker, you're saying, and so he would then learn everything, and then
well, yeah, you could like read a book in a second because you could just slow time down basically. And yeah, I mean, it's a strong argument. I got to be honest. The only thing is, if someone catches you, you're human. You're squashed like a bug.
I mean, not necessarily even, because like the Flash can vibrate and phase through shit because he moves so fast. So you can't even.
That's crazy.
Can't even
can't even hold me. Can't even hold
so
me.
It depends on how you write it, because like it could be hell. Like if you're just like, because it does seem like that. If you have the ability to move at like light speed, but everyone that you know and love, like to you, they're talking like this. Like it's just, you know,
like you could choose to come out of fast mode like the Flash and just be like talking, but like when you think about it, you kind of always want to stay in fast mode, because it's like, what if this is our fast mode, you know? And it's like, if we went into regular mode, then our lives are going like way faster when you think about it like that. Because like if you're in fast mode, it's basically like being able to slow down time. So why would you ever not live in slow down time? Because you'll experience a longer life. Right. So if you're spending 10 seconds, that could be in fast mode 10 days, you know? So it's like why would you ever be in regular mode? You're just killing yourself faster. You're killing your life experience faster. So kind of wild. Think about it. It's a trippy ass power to have.
I don't think it's the best though.
I think Superman has the best powers.
Well, he's got like 30 though.
Super strength, X-ray vision. Yeah, it's so funny how they like OP'd the first superhero they came up with. We're like, yeah, he'll fly and be invincible and laser vision too,
and frost breath,
and he can see through stuff.
X-ray vision, super hearing too. He can literally hear anything on the planet, anywhere. Literally can.
It's so OP. It's like, oh, and then we'll have fast guy too. But it's like, what else can he do? He needs the sun to stay powered though. If he's exposed to like a red sun, or if he's not, you know, juiced up on our sun, then that's his vulnerability, and kryptonite, obviously. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's why he's he's got vulnerabilities.
This is the second question is fucking insane. This is one of the crazy. Yeah, this is the craziest question I think we've ever been asked. Okay. If you were given a month to assassinate a close friend without being caught, or you would die, how would you do it? And that's like pretty funny, because it's like instantly I'm just like, well, it's a close friend, so they trust the fuck out of me, so just poison them to death. I mean, it's like pretty easy. It's like,
what's the motivation here?
Cheers, man. Just kills him. No! What?
You okay, dude?
That's crazy.
Dude, my drink was fine. I don't know though. It's gone.
It's not happening. Yeah, I'm like blood's coming out, and Tony's like, mine didn't do that. I don't know.
My drink's literally never done that to me.
Yeah, my drink's never done that. Yeah, I've never had those problems. I'm like,
dude, you don't want that.
Nah, it's bad.
The foam, you don't want the foam coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be like that.
Everyone says drink stuff, but then, you know, you run into these problems. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. That's how I would do it. How would y'all do it?
I mean, is the motivation like that is a close friend that I hate?
It says you got to get caught or you would die. So maybe someone's like forcing you to do it.
Okay. So it's like either kill them or let myself get killed.
Right. It's kind of like a would you rather situation. I'd personally rather die than see my brothers fall. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. So
that is like the quickest way to fucking do it. Just like fucking, I don't know, get like a little rock of fentanyl and just like put it in a croissant and be like, here's some breakfast for you.
Here's the yummy bacon, egg, and cheese for you, dude.
Yummy.
Here's a croissant for you. I know how you like croissants, Connor.
Yeah.
Something I don't even eat.
Yo, dude, I got you this Delta 10 joint.
It's like a normal croissant, but there's just like a big bump in the middle of it. It's like, eat it from the middle. Say, the middle is the best part.
It's a little overcooked, so it's hard in the middle.
It's got a fudgy center.
It's like, dude, there's like
gasoline?
a rock in this. Yeah. It tastes like fuel. What is
It's like dark
diesel
matter.
fuel.
it? Tastes like diesel fuel. Anyhow. That's those are good questions. We appreciated Twiz and Blake for those.
DZ.
I just wanted to we don't have to like really go through these, but shout out I believe it was, let me see, Darkus Sarkis. Yeah, thank you. For the links to the Playboi Carti interview. You know, I did see like on Twitter someone like you know, they quote him as talking about how, you know, he's got gay friends and trans friends, and he's about to basically say he's dated men and they cut him off. I feel like the reason that he got cut off was because that likely will be content for a rollout or a bigger interview or something. Or maybe he's just trying to not come out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just like quickly through these highlights.
It might
like,
not have been men either. It could have been like a trans person or
a trans woman,
maybe
yeah,
a gay, or like a lesbian.
could have been
woman.
a gay trans
gay
guy.
thing.
No, I meant a lesbian. Like he could have like been okay, like dated people that are LGBT. It doesn't
dated a
He dated a
bisexual woman,
lesbian.
perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But
But
it's
who
cool.
knows to think if he just fucks dudes.
Some of the highlights though is like he like fucks with Tech Nine, not really from like a music standpoint, but like he's inspired by the way he has like a cult fan base, which are guys that wear you know,
Skulls.
fitteds and
Clothing with
smoke
skulls.
vape out of those Leatherman wrenches, basically. Like giant vapes. Those are the Tech Nine fans. People from meth
Southern Illinois.
yeah, just people from like meth territory that smoke giant vape clouds all the time are Tech Nine fans. But he's inspired by them and Mayhem. Apparently, his new album is going to be called Music. Because quote, that's just what it is at this point. That's what it says.
They hear what it is.
And no, it's good. It's also funny because he gets asked a question. Yeah, he says music because that's all it is at this point. And they go, so this part is funny. It's like, what are the topics that are important for this project? What did you notice while making this recent music that you find yourself rapping about or writing about? And he goes, love, sex, drugs, changes in my life. I've been rapping about going to rehab. I want to go to rehab because I think I'm bipolar. I want to feel free. I want this album to make everyone feel free. I hope this album brings peace to the world, honestly. I'm in love with what I'm doing. Like I told you, you can't put a genre alternative on me. My little brother told me that all the time. And they go, so you can't be boxed in. He goes, no. And they go, so when we say you are a hip hop artist, do you agree or do you think you're beyond that title? And he goes, I am a hip hop artist, which I love because it's like, he's like, you can't box me in, but don't get it fucked up. I'm in this hip hop game for sure. So that's cool. And then I don't know what else that was interesting. I mean, I find it interesting. He's like, I think I'm bipolar. And then in the other part of the interview, he's like, I talk to Kanye West every day. And it's like, I would think I was bipolar too if that was my best friend. I'm not saying he's not bipolar or anything, but I'm just, you know, it's kind of a funny connection to make. Yeah, I do feel like he is the predecessor to the actual predecessor to Kanye. I think anyone else who draws that comparison to themselves is
it
inaccurate.
Predecessor before? You mean protege or protege?
Let's look that up. Let's all learn.
Because
yes. Okay. So what would be the opposite? What's the antonym? Antonym of predecessor. Wow, it just had that ready for me.
Well, don't keep
successor. The true successor, the heir to the throne, I believe, is Carti in terms of his influence, both in music and style. I mean, Carti and Kanye have heavily influenced fashion for sure.
Only a little bit, kind of, maybe, like slightly.
They've dipped their toes in. To the fashion world.
I mean, Carti, like, that's what's crazy is like you forget like the clout goggles. Completely Carti. I mean, it was Cobain who originally wore those, but I mean, Carti really made that the whole clout era. He defines it. I mean, and he almost defines this era harder than Kanye defined the previous era because there was more of a plurality when Kanye was influencing the game. Like there was still like 50 Cent and all these big artists that were not necessarily making music like him. There was Lil Wayne and Young Money, and then there was like the Soulja Boy internet shit and Lil B. So it was like all these other influencers. Whereas Carti, like every one of his genre is influenced by him. He's like the fucking like he's like the Velvet Underground of this genre easily. And
he's Django. And everyone else is a clone.
Yes,
Django.
Sure.
Django.
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking? I was like,
talking about clones.
They're all one block away from falling.
I thought
all
for
Jenga.
a millisecond you were saying he's
Jenga.
Django from Django Unchained. I was really confused. Oh,
I
I was like,
saying
Tony,
Jenga the game.
Django, no D.
He's Jenga. You pull one part of his personality out, and the whole thing falls.
Crumbles, dude.
You got to be careful when you're listening to his music, man. You got to pull out each song carefully.
Holy shit.
Anyways, that's fucking funny. There's also a Fader article where I like in the XXL interview multiple times he shouts out Iggy Azalea and says she's a great mother. I'm really glad that they're on good terms like that. You know, yeah, he says
It's a long ass interview.
Kanye shit. The Fader one, it's like a brief. I think he got a. Okay, Fader just did a write up on the XXL article, so that's really redundant. But yeah, it's long. There's some cool photos in there too. Like Carti's very much in his Marilyn Manson kind of rock star vibe now. I think this next album is going to be great. I think what you're going to see with this next album is he's going to synthesize. Die Lit, Whole Lot of Red, and whatever new vibes he's picked up into something that is both, you know, conceptually great, like Whole Lot of Red, but then you know, cohesive. But I think it's gonna have as many slappers as Die Lit, or even more so.
Some
and it's
bappers?
interesting because he in this interview talks about how he's also trying to make music that. Like he says, I'm not doing it for money, but he kind of says he needs it for his child, for his family and friends.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not gonna make shit for that, but sometimes you have to type shit. So I have a feeling this album is gonna offer a little bit something for everybody, his fans, the casual listener. I think it could very possibly be his greatest album. However, from an artistic standpoint, I do think that like Kanye really obfuscates and confuses things, you know? Like, I don't know where Kanye's headed. I don't know what the thesis of his art is anymore. It doesn't seem very clear. I feel like it's just like, he just kind of does whatever he feels. Right. So I hope this album isn't like a messy, kind of unfocused project. I hope it's a little bit more like confident and it knows what it's trying to be and shit. I hope it's not taken over by third parties that make it really jumbled and weird and stupid. Like, you know, calling it music is a very Kanye move. Like how he was going to call his album Love. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that as we are correspondents in the Playboi Carti news beat.
The Cartiverse.
So. Anyways.
The Cartiverse.
The Cartiverse, indeed.
The Jordan Cartiverse.
The Cartiverse.
I saw a couple movies, by the way.
Tell me about them.
I saw King Richard, which I would describe as, you know, top shelf mid. It was, you know, it wasn't exceptional, but it was really solid, entertaining story. That
Organic
story in general is fascinating because, you know, we don't really give enough credit. I mean, the Williams sisters are getting their credit now, being amazing. Serena Williams is like one of the greatest athletes of all time. But it is an amazing story, and they lay it out. You know, the girls who play the Williams sisters are really good in it. They're like these really like confident yet humble and quiet girls, and you know, I I think Will Smith, when I first started, he's like got a Louisiana accent. He's like, I hoid. Like he'll say like, I hoid. Like he's got this Louisiana accent. And I'm like, oh my God, is this what it's going to be like the whole movie? But, Will Smith commits when he does a role, even if he's like Nick Cage to me. It's like he commits, even if it's not necessarily like hyper convincing. He'll make you convinced through just like, whatever. And it's like it's kind of a crazy movie. And it's worth a watch. I think you'll be entertained by it if you guys want to peep it. Speaking of Nick Cage, another movie I saw that I liked more than King Richard, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. The Nicolas Cage kind of like movie about Nicolas Cage kind of like thing. Movie. It's like part comedy, kind of like character. I don't know if I'd say drama, but it's like, it's focused on Nick Cage as a version of himself as a character. But then there's like this funny kind of like spy caper thing also going on that forces the plot forward. It's a little bit predictable at times, but it's really entertaining and kind of adorable and charming. It's kind of a bromance movie. Pedro, I think Pascal is in it as this really wealthy Spanish guy who the CIA believes to be, the head of a international drug trafficking ring. And so Nick Cage is kind of recruited by the CIA to spy on him, but he's conflicted because he actually genuinely likes him as his bro. Like they have a really touching moment the first night.
That's a great premise.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. Their bromance is great. You would never think Nick Cage would be a bros with anyone because he's just an alien. But it really works. And Nick Cage is I'm so charmed by him. I think he's a great actor. I love how passionate and serious he is about the craft of acting. I envy his life. I would love to just make movies for a living. Yeah. And just act and be in all these weird fucking movies. I would love that.
He's definitely in his weird vibe lately, and I'd love it.
Yeah, I saw an interview with him. I saw an interview with him on TikTok where he was like, I would put the last 10 years of work against the first 30 years. Because he's been working since he was like 15. So he's like Mandy and Massive Talent and Pig and all these other movies. Like I would put that up against. I need to see Pig.
You really
I would put that up against.
That is a sad fucking movie.
Raising Arizona or like that era.
I mean, I love Raising Arizona. I think that's the best movie.
That's untouchable.
I've never watched it all the way through.
Oh, it's one of my favorite movies ever. It's probably the best movie he's ever been in.
It's pretty untouchable.
That's what my dad says.
But yeah, those two movies, if you guys haven't seen them, check them out. They're definitely enjoyable. Massive Talent's definitely worth a watch, as is King Richard. Max, did you put these other movies in there? Tell us, are you just like kind of anticipating those? You want to see those? I'm pretty sure those aren't out yet.
No, I put those in. I just saw those trailers when I went to see the movie the other night, and Men looks insane. Like the trailer for that was really well done.
Dude.
Yeah. And then
I want to see Nope.
Is the new Jordan Peele movie. That one looks pretty crazy.
JD
and then Marcel
Peely.
the Shell.
Marcel the Shell is getting a movie?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
And they have like CNN like anchors like on there and shit. And they're like,
Marcel
the Shell trying to find his family. The Shell with shoes.
That's really funny.
I was like, we should take some
because that was just
and
like a Jenny Slate like viral like little short film. That's pretty funny that it's now going to be a feature film.
Yeah.
Marcel the Shell with shoes on. That's really cute. That's really cute. We'd love to see that.
That's really cute. We love to see it.
And everything all at once.
Yeah, man. No, it was funny. The timeline on Twitter was shitting on Men.
Really?
Not just the concept of Men, but that movie Men, because it was like, wow, A24, another like fake artsy like social commentary movie. I was like, I don't know. We're gobbling up mid these days. I'll take something that even tries to do something. I don't care if it's got obvious metaphors and social commentary. Like I'll watch that because it's
that's
weird.
how I felt about Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like there's especially more towards the end, like the messaging of it and of all that, you could say it's on the nose. I don't even think it really is that much. I think it's just having fun with the messaging.
Yeah, the bar is so low now. It's like I don't mind a little on the noseness.
Yeah,
we're gonna be cynical about when shit's actually creative. just because it didn't think of a nuanced way enough to give the message that is trying to give to you.
Yeah.
It didn't meet your bar.
You have to bake in a certain
gooby.
a certain scale or scope of criticism there. It's like, look at what this movie's doing creatively. Men looks really like a vibe, like a horror
the
vibe.
trailer looked crazy.
Yeah. I'll see anything Jordan Peele makes. I need Jordan Peele to make another classic, though. I want him to get an Oscar.
Yeah.
Or maybe he has
What
won
did you
an
think
Oscar.
of Us? You guys saw that? What did you think of that one? It was, it was creepy and like an enjoyable watch, but
I feel like Us started really strong.
Yeah.
And it narratively didn't tie up in a way that I thought was as dope. I think I even might have fallen asleep towards the end of Us. I've seen it twice, though.
Yeah, it had I was not expecting it to get that literal with like
exactly. It's like you don't need to get that. You don't need to like have an actual explanation for all this shit.
Going down into a literal physical place like underneath a beach or something where there's like it just I don't know. But it kind of now we're complaining about doing the same thing though. Sorry, what, Max?
No, I was just gonna say it kind of broke the vibe. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
it was one of those movies where it's like I watched it the first time. I was like, cool. I've never needed to rewatch it. Let me put it that way,
dude. Everything Everywhere has infinite rewatchability. I'm confident in saying.
I mean, any movie with fighting in it like that, I'm gonna fuck with. Lupita Nyong'o was great in Us.
Oh yeah,
she was fantastic.
Great twist too. I thought, like, I don't know if I don't remember if I saw it coming. I thought I kind of did, but like, it was still like
you're enough removed from it that you forget that it's even a possibility.
The Jordan Peele IMDb profile picture is so funny to me. He looks kind of awkward, but
he's like
already. I misspoke. He has already won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay for Get Out, as he should have.
Figured.
As well as he won a he was nominated for Best Motion Picture of the Year for Black Klansman. He was a producer on that, which is dope. I liked Black Klansman quite a bit. Black Klansman ends crazy too. Black Klansman ends with like footage of the fucking like Charlottesville attack. Like
seriously?
Yeah, no. I know this movie is on the nose, but we're gonna get even more on the nose because I'm gonna talk to you motherfuckers right now. Like that's how it ends. It's like now look at how like the whole movie's about the Klan, but it's set in a time period like where maybe the Klan was more thriving or popular, and then it's like look at how the Klan has not gone anywhere at the end, and it is like a really bold choice, and it like rocked me honestly. The ending of that movie, it's a great movie, but. Yeah, I am definitely going to check those two out, Men, as well as Nope, and Marcel the Shell with shoes on.
Yeah,
also, as well. But
that's 100.
Yeah, you guys were mentioning. I don't know if we already mentioned on the pod, but Ozark comes out soon. The new season. I don't know which season. Is it 3?
Season 5, part 2. They should really just call it season. But I guess it's the same year it's coming out, so that's why they're doing it.
Man, these shows will just like. I feel like beforehand it was like seasons would come out slower, but it's like these shows just like I feel like Ozark's still a new show, but now it's got fucking 6 seasons. So
I mean, it's been going for 4 years. I mean, it's still once a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's just less of a.
Just crazy. I think 2018 was 4 years ago.
I think the pandemic just didn't delay it either.
Right.
Barely. It did like a few months, but barely.
But not a lot.
Definitely gonna have to catch up on that show.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
It's an easy rip. That the it's only 7 episodes, part 1. Or do you have to watch season 4 too?
I mean, I haven't seen any of I've only seen the first maybe 3 episodes of the whole show. So.
Oh, you got a lot of.
Yeah, you didn't get.
You got a lot to catch up on, bro.
You better clear your schedule because you got to watch that.
Yeah, honey. I've got to watch 57 episodes of Ozark. Okay. Shout out young Scotty Bates and Scott Jimbles. Scotty.
Scotty.
Oh, wait, no, it's Jason Bateman.
Yeah, Jason Bateman.
Neither are his name. Neither Scott nor Jim. That's what I love about it. I'm Scott Jim.
I'm Scott Jim. Hi,
J-Bone Free Guys.
J-Bone Free Guy.
J-Bone Free Guy is the long lost lover / arch enemy of Scott Jim.
Correct.
That's what I always thought of him as.
Interesting. we can't, Tony. We can't give away too much. You know,
I'm
the
sorry,
Ripple Stevens first.
I don't want to
That's
get people too
crucial.
excited. Yeah,
That's for the
that's
series.
crucial.
That's for the animated series.
that'll be a reveal, I guess. Yeah, later in the
Just recruiting Jason Bateman for a Scott Jim biopic. Jason, we called you in because we want to really tell the story of Scott Jim. We really want to.
He's like,
you embody him.
and it's just like someone doing that, but he has no idea what they're talking about. And he's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. doing a Ryan Reynolds impression. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm Scott Bateman. I'm Scott Bateman.
I'm J-Bone Free Guy.
If I ever meet him, I'll be like, Scott Jim, you son of a bitch. And I'll be like,
Scott,
what?
you son of a bitch.
Scott Jim, you fucking son of a bitch. Nice to meet you.
Put her there.
Anyhow, that's really all for me. I don't know if y'all want to touch on anything more, but I mean, Tony,
I guess
you want to talk about the last? Just end it with maybe the latest episode of Midnight.
Yeah. I was gonna put Midnight, but I was like, I wonder if people would just think I'm saying like midnight.
We can just call it Midnight from now on.
Right.
I'm reviewing the time.
I honestly, the first 2 episodes were really slow and boring, and it's another example of like Marvel being like, what's the least work we would have to do?
Right.
Let's write it that way.
Yeah.
We don't have to write him as a Black Ops guy. We don't have to write him as a millionaire. We can write him as and it comes into play. And I say that in the episode 3 review, him working at a museum comes into play because he needs to translate hieroglyphs and stuff like that.
Right.
That's because it's like fine, right? It can be written a different way still.
Yeah, he could be a teacher.
He could be a fucking archaeologist on a dig in Egypt, and it could have started in Egypt, and it could have, flashed between that and him being a Black Ops agent, and they could have it could have been like, wait, are they twins? Are they the same person? I don't know. They could have just wrote it more creatively, and especially after seeing Everything Everywhere, like that movie puts in perspective like how much effort goes into a project.
Yep.
Not a lot of effort goes into any Disney project.
It's really obvious, and it's really kind of sad because you just consider what could be.
Right.
There's so many people in the industry who want to give that effort, who want to make shit like that, who want to do incredible new things. There's so many incredible, talented people out there.
There was no reason you couldn't make a movie like that. Character and the mythology around him and everything about him could be a movie as equally or better than Everything Everywhere All at Once, just given to the right person. Like, but it's they're like, how do we get Moon Knight toys to sell or like whatever,
I started, by the way, I still have never finished the first season of Mandalorian, so I started watching the last episode of the first season. Where that droid drives through on a speeder and starts shooting everybody. I don't know if you remember that with Grogu. And I was like, I'll give it to these guys. They're at least kind of trying to make a Star Wars style TV show. Like
I agree.
I think at least it's not like exceptional, but they're at least kind of trying to do its own thing. And it's like it's actually written in a way that's like not actively bad. It's okay.
It's a pleasant watch. Like it's a very chill watch too. Just like it's a vibe like Mando and obviously the baby helps a lot. Like Grogu is obviously like massive to that show's success, but I enjoyed watching season 1, season 2.
I mean, like you just consider like something like a WandaVision to Mandalorian in terms of sheer quality, like technical quality, and just writing and everything. And it's like, at least Mandalorian like genuinely tries to hold up to some kind of standard or style. And it's also just has the benefit of being in a cool universe, which is Star Wars. But like
WandaVision, I would say is the best thing Marvel's done since they launched on Disney Plus. Now,
Yeah,
obviously, it ended very weak.
Right.
But like
That's what I'm saying.
the creativity of the first 7 episodes was probably the most interesting thing they've done with the different TV show styles.
Yeah.
But,
it was very intriguing at first, but yeah, it's just like sad because Marvel also takes place in just the regular world, so they can get away with making these mid-ass like comedy, regular drama shits part of the thing.
So many people are like, him being a gift shop employee, Steven, the Oscar Isaac's character, like it makes him more down to earth and relatable. I'm like, why do you want that? It's a fucking superhero movie.
Superhero movie, bro.
For show.
And also,
show.
a character is not like is relatable if they're a human being. If you write them well as a human being, a spec ops person could be relatable,
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could relate to their human emotions and their struggles and their human condition. You could relate to that. It doesn't have to be a boring fucking person who also, I'm sorry, looks like Oscar Isaac. So by that same logic, I don't look like Oscar Isaac. I'm not that hot. It's like he's a gift shop owner that looks like Oscar. You know, it's like
Right.
It's like, wow, dude, good work.
True.
You look like Oscar Isaac. Wow, we get it.
Wow.
We fucking get it, dude. Oscar, you look like yourself.
Oscar the Grouchers.
Grouchy
And it's
the
like,
Oscars.
it's fine. That character being a gift shop employee could still happen too. They could have just written the show more interesting. But the first 2 episodes, you get 1 minute, 38 seconds of Moon Knight on screen.
That's a great way to introduce a character that your show's named after.
Right. An hour and a half, 90, or no, what is that? 48? Yeah. It was like 91 minutes or whatever. And there's 1 minute, 38 seconds of Moon Knight.
That sounds like when you're playing the Spider-Man video game and you have to control Mary Jane as she's walking through a museum. It's just like,
literally, dude.
Hey,
that's what these Marvel shows are.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I know you're literally having the best time of your life right now, but you're going to have to sit through this 20-minute interactive cutscene.
Someone on Instagram said, imagine getting wave checked by Scotty Jim.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
Scotty Jim.
Scott Jim wave check.
What a guy.
What a guy.
On Easter Sunday of all days for Scott
the holiest day.
Scottson Jimbulius.
Anyways. 'Twas a good ep. We appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, follow us on all of our shit. We're going to start uploading TikToks soon and also Reels. We'd appreciate if you follow the TikTok. We'll obviously drop like the for that when we
They'll be on the YouTube too, like the YouTube shorts.
We will have YouTube shorts and IG Reels, so stay tuned for that.
Vertical format stuff.
Yeah, vertical videos. We'd appreciate
highlights.
if y'all share and like and whatever, all that shit. But for now, we hope you guys have it's Easter right now, so I hope you guys had a good Easter. Have a good Monday and a good week. And
find some eggs.
Hope you found some eggs. Hope the Easter Bunny brought you a DVD copy of The Incredibles like he did me in roughly 2004.
Evangelion.
Apart from that, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Welcome, Boke forever. Peace the motherfuck out.